I picked up everything from the RHODE Beauty line, and I thought it would be fun to kind of see if it's worth the hype. So we're gonna go through the 4 products, there's just 4 products, and we're gonna dissect the ingredient deck. I'm gonna let you know my experience with the products. I'm also gonna let you know whether or not I think they're worth the hype, if I would repurchase them. And finally, I actually have a couple of alternatives to a couple of the products that I think are a little bit better value for your money, plus have a little bit better ingredient deck. If you're new here, my name is Penny. I am a master esthetician. I'm super excited that you're here. I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. And if you are a current subscriber, I really appreciate that you're here. Okay, let's get into it. We're gonna start with probably the most hyped product recently, and that is the Glazing Milk. What this is essentially a milky essence that you put on your skin right after you cleanse it. And the brand says that it's going to prepare your skin for everything that you put on after and help everything else absorb better and do its job better. Now let's talk about that to begin with. Does an essence actually help to prepare your skin for what's to come in your skincare routine? For me personally, I think yes, it absolutely does. I'm a big believer in softening the skin and kind of prepping it for the rest of your skincare. Do I do it every single time? No, I don't. If I forget my essence, it is not the end of the world, and I still think my other products do a great job. That said, I definitely think that when you use an essence, whether it's my Sukiyaki Suhara, which has been my essence of choice for years and years, much less hydrating than this, it will soften the outer skin cells, allowing them to kind of get worked around with the skincare that you use after. So I definitely think that there is big value in using essences that are hydrating and that are softening to the skin as a prep for the rest of your skincare. So that claim to me holds up. Now, this product is called a Glazing Milk, and it's meant to be super hydrating, super softening, and prep your skin for the rest of your skincare. Let's look at the ingredients and let's see what's in here that might do any of those things. First of all, this has a few different versions of hyaluronic acid. Now, that's a humectant that we're mostly all familiar with that draws water to it and helps to hydrate the tissue, and it also helps to soften the skin. Depending on the molecular weight of the hyaluronic acid, it can form a film, helping to trap moisture in the skin. It's actually a really, really valuable ingredient. And if you feel like you have a hard time with hyaluronic acid, often when it's combined with a bunch of other humectants, it's really tolerable. This does also have beta-glucan in it. I've been talking about beta-glucan for years on this channel and also over on Instagram because I think it's one of the best humectants out there. Now, it is going to soothe the skin. It's fantastic if you have eczema, if you have psoriasis, if you have really dry skin, if you have itchy skin. Beta-glucan is just fantastic, and it is also a humectant. So it soothes and it hydrates the skin and it softens the skin. Definitely one of my top 10 ingredient choices, like of my favorites. I love beta-glucan. Now, this also has ceramides. Ceramides are integral to our barrier function. So they're, the glue, they help to kind of keep it intact, and they help with keeping, water retention. This has cholesterol in it, which cholesterol is also part of that whole barrier function, part of the important stuff that's in our barrier, in that kind of that lipid mixture. And then also this has phytosphingosine. Now, if you'll recall in a few videos back, I highlighted the ingredient phytosphingosine. It's a mouthful, but it is such a great ingredient to see in skincare, to see in hydrating skincare, because it is, first of all, it is integral to barrier function. It is also something that over time we produce less of, and it's a great thing to feed back into the skin. I just think it's a wonderful ingredient, and I was super excited to see that in here. Something else about this product that is really cool to me is what's not in it. There's no fragrance in here. Fragrance free. All of the brand is cruelty free and vegan, and they also use 50% post-consumer recycled packaging. So every one of their plastics is made up of at least half of recycled stuff that was already used before. And they kind of have like a mission statement on their website, and they talk about that. They talk about their carbon footprint and sort of their ethos. And I think that that's pretty cool. I like that they are at least committed to using some recycled byproducts to make their packaging. Okay, so that's the glazing milk. Now my experience with this product has been it's been wonderful. I have to admit that I've seen it on some friends on their channels or on Instagram and whatnot, and I've kind of been like, whatever. It really reminded me, at least in looks, of the Laneige Cream Skin, which I did have and I liked it, but on my face it would leave kind of like a little bit of a greasy film, and sometimes if I use just a little bit too much of that Laneige Cream Skin, my makeup would look kind of funky and it wasn't good. I ended up using up the entire bottle of that. It did also have fragrance and it had really beautiful ingredients otherwise, so I'm not knocking that one, but I find this one to be so much better than that one. I mean, like, if you did not like the Laneige Cream Skin because you thought it was a little too much for your skin, this might be a really great alternative. Now this is $29 and it's 4.7 ounces, so you get a lot for your money. And what I like about that is she actually recommends on her website that you use this everywhere, and that's a great recommendation. So overall, I would say that the glazing milk is a 100% win. It is definitely worth the hype, and it's a beautiful product that I can completely see myself reaching for in my essence step, which right now is often the Sukiyaki Suhara, or it's the Jinjung Sung, or now I've been grabbing for this, and it is really, really beautiful. Next, let's talk about the glazing serum. This little guy is 1.7 ounces, and this one is also $29. All of the skincare offerings are $29. This one comes with a pump, and it's funny because this little size is kind of deceiving. It doesn't look like it's gonna be 1.7 ounces, but it is. Now, there's a few things right off the top. First of all, this one is a lotion consistency that immediately turns into a serum. It just disappears into a kind of clear, lightweight lotion serum, okay? Now, for this one, it's interesting that they highlight the word peptide in the serum because it does have acetyl hexapeptide 8, which is a fantastic ingredient. That is the peptide that is in here. So it's funny because when you highlight something like that, in my mind, I always think there'll be more than one single peptide. That's what is in here. Again, though, this doesn't have any negative ingredients in my opinion. There's no fragrance, there's no essential oils, there's no citrus peel oils in here. So what's not in here is just as good as what is in here. It's pretty simple peptide type serum. And again, it's 1.7 ounces for $29. Now, as soon as I started using this, I immediately was like, this reminds me of something. And it took me maybe 5 seconds to realize that it reminds me very, very much of my Dermatology Water Cream Moisturizer. The consistency and the effect is extremely similar. Now, I'm not saying that they're dupes of each other or anything like that, but they are a water/glycerin, lightweight serum, lotion, moisturizer type consistency. The difference is that the Water Cream Moisturizer does have the addition of green tea and some other antioxidants. And in my personal opinion, the ingredient deck in here is just a little bit more robust than what you get in here. Now again, this is 1.7 ounces and it's $29. This is 3.7 ounces, 3.77 ounces, yeah, 3.77 ounces for $37. Now, Dermatology, as you know, always has discounts. Either my code will get 20% off, Dermatology runs sales. There really is never, ever a time to pay full price for Dermatology. You always can get at least 20% off. 20% off of $37 makes this $29 and change. So essentially, these two are the same price, only you get 2 additional ounces in the Dermatology Water Cream Moisturizer. It does not have the acetyl hexapeptide 8. In my opinion, that one single ingredient is not valuable enough to spend more money on a smaller product. I really just think this is a better buy. It's better and you get a very similar effect. In fact, I want to show you them kind of side by side and hopefully you'll be able to see the comparison. So the RHODE is on the top and Dermatology is on the bottom. So the RHODE you can see disappears into nothing, and so does the Dermatology. They're just so similar. If you could reach through your screen and feel them, they literally feel the same. In fact, The RHODE water cream is exactly what the RHODE reminds me of immediately, because it's a cream that just immediately turns into this watery serum. It's beautiful. It's actually really, really nice. The other thing that kind of caught my attention with the RHODE when I've started using it is that the pump is kind of finicky. And I know that a lot of people who watch my channel may have some trouble with arthritis. They may have some trouble with their hands. And I think that it's finicky. It's hard. It gets kind of caught up sometimes. And I actually have two of these. I bought a kit and then I bought this separately, and my daughter is going to be using this one. She loves it. She compares it to Drunk Elephant. She thinks it has exactly or a similar consistency to the Protini. Ingredient decks are not comparable, but she loves this. She loves to use it, and I'm like, have at it. You can have that little pump. I definitely think you get more for your money, and for me personally, it would not be a repurchase, and I definitely think that the pump situation is worth the consideration if you have any trouble with your hands whatsoever. Okay, the last skincare product that they have is their Barrier, this one is the Barrier Restore Cream. Now this one is actually a really nice product. It's a thick-ish moisturizer, and it is, you know, it has in it the ingredients that you would like to see for your barrier. So once again, you're gonna see some ceramides. You're gonna see some of those ingredients that are really nice for helping to just lock in some moisture into your barrier, likely at night. To me, this is probably something that you would use on top of your skincare at night, because it's a little bit thicker and it's just not something that I would wear during the day, and I have kind of dry skin. It looks like this. Hopefully you can tell that that has a little bit more of a thickness to it than the previous two products did. And it is really, really nice over the top of skincare to get that nice, you know, locking in of the things that you put on before it in order to let your skin overnight repair itself and restore its barrier. So the name is appropriate. Once again, this is 1.7 ounces and it is $29. And I could not help but compare it to my Dermatology Soothe and Recovery. And I know that I'm biased. I know that I love these products, and so it's hard for me, but that's my kind of bar. That's my measure, is to compare it to the things that I love the most. So when I compare these two, and again, I'm not saying that they're dupes of each other, but they have a similar, you know, intention. This one is Soothe and Recovery. It is meant to be hydrate, calm, repair. That's what Soothe and Recovery is meant to do. This is a product that I use almost every single night. It's a big tube, it's 3 ounces, and I usually just pile this on over top of everything else that I'm doing. Almost, it doesn't even matter what I put on my skin at that night. This almost always goes on top, and it really does help me to wake up in the morning and my skin doesn't feel tight or dry, and it feels like overnight my skin was able to do some of the stuff that it should do. Now, this is $39, and again, you always get a discount on Dermatology, so let's call it $32, right? This one's $29 and it's 1.7 ounces. So for a few more dollars, you get quite a bit more, 3 ounces versus 1.7. So while I think that this is a beautiful product, there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't have any fragrance in it. It has no essential oils. It has no citrus peel oils, and it has some really nice ingredients. This one is not as good of a value as my Dermatology Soothe and Recovery. So again, this is one that I don't repurchase. Okay, so next we're gonna talk about the final thing, and that is the lip product. And I gotta say that if you really love lip products, if you love lip masks and you love clear gloss and you love flavored or scented glosses that are treatments, these are beautiful. They're $16 and they're really, really nice, but they're definitely not a necessity. They're definitely extra, and I mean, they're just nice. They do have some peptides in there. They have occlusive ingredients that's gonna help to lock in moisture so that your lips can repair themselves. I would say that these are similar to the Naturium, those products for the lips that are a few dollars cheaper, probably $5 cheaper. They're also similar to the U Beauty Plasma lips that are 5 times more expensive, 4 times more expensive. I mean, the U Beauty is really, really expensive. I own all 3 of those lip products. I like them all. I guess it would just depend on your budget. And if you are a lip product person, is it worth the hype? I mean, it's a lip product. It's a lip gloss, essentially. It is not sticky and it isn't goopy, and it definitely does help my lips to repair themselves. I often will get up in the morning, and after I've had my coffee and I've brushed my teeth, I will put this on and just let it be on while I'm doing anything else to my skin. And if I'm going to wear makeup and I want to wear lipstick or anything like that, I'll wipe it off, and I definitely can tell that my lips are softer. They look better with lipstick on and all of that stuff. But I can get that from a lot of other things too. So really, you just got to ask yourself, are you into that kind of stuff? And if you are, $16, that's not nothing. And but they're nice. They are nice. There's nothing wrong with them. I will say that they have a salted caramel version, and I have that one, and it is delectable. I absolutely look forward to putting it on. It smells like fall candles or something, you know, it's just yummy. But that's a personal preference thing. So are they worth the hype? Probably not. They're probably not worth hype. You know, you're not gonna look like Hailey Bieber if you put on her lip product, I guess is the thing. So it's a good line. It's a good line. And I'd say this is the one thing that is absolutely worth the hype. Let me know if you've tried this line. Let me know what your thoughts are. Give me a review if you've tried these things. Also, if you've tried these products from Dermatology, the Water Cream Moisturizer or the Soothe and Recovery, let me know your thoughts on those. And I would also love to know, if you've tried the Rhode Beauty and you've tried the Dermatology, what your comparison is. I would love to hear that. I think it's valuable for the community to hear other opinions, because we all have different skin, and a well-rounded review is really, really fantastic. And that is where you come in the comments. I hope you're having a great week so far, and I'll talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.